This is Senator Irakam. I will be speaking for the first time today. Could I just have a nod from the judges when you're ready? According to a study by Harvard researcher Linda J. Blimes, the war in Afghanistan, if ended today, will cost the United States government from $4 to $6 trillion. And 100% of that money is coming directly from American taxpayers. With this extraordinary price, one would expect the war to be very effective and beneficial to U.S. foreign policy. However, the war has been neither. Due to the clear facts that war in Afghanistan has cost the American people unacceptable amounts of money for little to no benefit for America or Afghanistan as a whole, and that any goal the war can realistically accomplish has already been achieved, this resolution to continue American troops in Afghanistan beyond 2014 is foolish beyond measure. I strongly urge you to vote in the firm negation of this resolution that will only be perpetuating a pointless cause. First of all, the war in Afghanistan has had many undesirable costs for both America and Afghanistan, and the sooner that we remove troops from the area, the better off both nations will be. Already, more than 2,000 American troops have died in Afghanistan, and in the past few years, they have died for almost no reason. In addition, up to 20,000 Afghan civilians have died, even when the goal of the war was simply to kill al-Qaeda militants. According to New York Times columnist Vali Al-Nasser, the longer American troops stay in Afghanistan, the less stable the region gets, as American presence in the area breeds anti-U.S. sentiment amongst Afghan civilians. Now, responding to arguments by Senator Thamboli and Senator Kizon that say that the U.S. needs to protect its achievements and security in Afghanistan, in truth, U.S. presence, for the reasons I have stated, in Afghanistan is only hurting the already low levels of security in the area. Secondly, whatever goals the war had realistically sought to accomplish in Afghanistan have already been taken care of, and almost no further progress is being made today. According to the Washington Post, and what Senator Thamboli and Kizon and other pro-speakers have failed to recognize, is that the majority of al-Qaeda operatives have already fled from Afghanistan before 2010 into Pakistan, making much of the war in Afghanistan today useless. After the United States removed the Taliban from power in Afghanistan and fought al-Qaeda as much as possible, the war has essentially come to a stalemate in the current decade. Most scholars and researchers agree that no matter how long the U.S. stays in Afghanistan, security conditions will improve very little. Overall, these reasons prove that U.S. troops should be removed from Afghanistan as quickly as possible. If the United States wants to pursue al-Qaeda, I want to go further than other con speakers in saying that the best course of action would be to leave Afghanistan as soon as possible and subsequently move troops into Pakistan. As it is clear, while this resolution may have good intentions, it will be ineffective in the region and will hurt foreign policy. I urge you all to vote against this resolution. Thank you, and I'm now open to questions.
Okay, that speech was 3 minutes, 10 seconds. Questions? Senator Chilpuri.
Senator, if we leave without establishing a proper democracy, won't Afghanistan fall just like Iraq did?
Senator, you make a good point. However, there is a somewhat proper democracy in Afghanistan already, and as they have democratic elections. And the point of American troops in Afghanistan was to rid Afghanistan of al-Qaeda and Osama bin Laden, and we should allow the Afghan military and their own citizens to develop a democratic nation themselves.
Question, Senator Kizon?
You said that if we leave, that the Afghans will lose their fear of the overwhelming presence of the U.S. troops. Though leaving right now would cause even such as like al-Qaeda to slowly regain their power and come back in, asking these people who seem to, I guess, innocent people who had no idea what's happening really, to join their cause. And what do you have to say about this?
Senator, I believe you may have misunderstood my point. I stated that because U.S. troops have stayed so long in Afghanistan is breeding anti-U.S. sentiment among Afghan civilians. And this is certainly a problem, as it causes more enemies to be created of the United States the longer we fight there.
Senator Thamboli?
Don't you think our withdrawal can lead to a civil war in Afghanistan against, such as the one that occurred in the 1990s, their government is still not very stable.
Yes, you make a good point. However, I don't believe that there will be a civil war. All the evidence points against it. The army in Afghanistan, as previous senators have stated, can protect up to 93% of the country. They have a relatively strong army, and it's likely that they will not have a civil war with any groups such as the Taliban or others.
All right, time. Thank you.
Thank you.